Welcome. It's another week. Hopefully, this will be a trending thing with my agreed co-host Chris Fisk. Love him. Infinitels get along really well. Hosting Jimmy Reyes of Dragonrage. It's his first 30-day closeout stream.
Yeah.
I was telling him in the back room, it's funny. I've been following him since Comic Book Bob shared him out like a year or two ago. And I'm like, damn it, I missed the chance to back his book. And then I'm seeing, wait, where's issue 1? I want to get the first. He's like, well, this is a retelling. So it's like, great, I can be right at the start still. So
yes,
this campaign looks amazing. And we're going to dig into it, see all the options, the perks, and pick Jimmy Reyes' brain. And hopefully y'all will be backing this book. It, I think, looks well-deserving, high quality. And but yeah, I'll let Jimmy take it over, give us a spiel about himself and the book, and then we'll look at the trailer and then talk more what comes organic.
Well, before that, I want to rewind a minute here. Wait, was it were you forced into hosting, Chris, or was it like was it a mutual?
No, I reached out to him.
No, man.
I got along with him talking.
He's gonna help me for sport.
Yeah, talking with him a couple weeks ago about comics and stuff, and then I backed his books. He said the Amazon, you can get it for $8.
You greased the wheel. You're like, I really want this code.
Yeah, and no, I legitimately really love that book and looking forward to. And we get along so well. So I'm like, dude, just if you're cool with it, be my co-host for this panel for panels. And let's host some CG, and we can do non-CG, but I want to focus on CG mostly. But
yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, Comicsgate, is like the what attracted me here is the fact that you get, creative freedom, and I like it, being here and the more support we got to support each other, because there is no big marketing company for CG that's out there pushing for us. It's every person.
It's uphill. Yeah,
it is. But there's a lot of great things in CG, like your book for one. I mean, there's tons of great books, but we got to get the word out, and it's a hustle. It's every day.
Yeah, man. We don't have Disney's marketing budgets.
There's no big CG movie out yet. There's nothing out there. Just so we got to be out there. We got to do the hustle. And I tell everybody who's interested in doing a book is that be ready and prepared to start a small business. If you're not in the mindset, and Chris, you're probably already been through this, but if you're not in the mindset ready to start a small business, then you want to take your IP and try to sell it to go get it published through a publisher or something. But if you're ready to start a small business, then this is a place, right here.
Yeah.
I would counter that to one degree, and that is, don't think of it as small business. Think of it like Gene Simmons. Business is business.
That's right. You're ready for business.
Small business.
Well, it's like what EVS said. He's like, I don't want to be the underground punk rocker. I want to be the guy that's selling out the stadiums. That's what you want, man. Like, make fun of Metallica all you want, but they sold out every seat in the stadium. Like,
but think back of the day where they were, sleeping in vans, and crashing their friends' couches, just trying to do little shows and everything. And that's what you got to be ready for, that hustle, when you get in here, because that's where the phase that I'm in. I'm still that little guy. I've gotten up to CG Kings. I've got to be on the biggest show in CG, but still I still got to build that momentum and build my way up. And, that's where I'm at. I'm every day is a hustle, man.
So what got you first doing like behind the scenes stuff, CG inking for people, and eventually just full board, I'm Comicsgate? What's that story?
Well, I started up my own book, Dragonrage. Started up my own channel. We were doing really well. We were hosting a lot of shows, and I just started bringing on different creators. I didn't care if they were Comicsgate or whatever. I bring Comicsgate people on, and the first Comicsgater that I had on, it was like SJWs popped out of the bushes, like they knew, and they're like, hey, come here, and that they're racist, right? That they're haters, right? They're a hate group, right? And then they disappear back in the darkness in the woods, after their little message, and I would go, whoa, what? So I always say, like, I'm not sheep, I'm not just gonna like, oh yeah, follow the herd. Oh, this is what we're doing. This is the cool thing now. We're gonna hate on this group. I wanted to do my own research. So I said, hey, bring on more CG. I want to meet more people. I want to know who
Nice.
you are, who you guys are. And so that's what I did. I just deep dive.
Very cool. Yeah,
Nice.
Didn't get fooled by the lies.
Well, I got to meet people, and everyone that I met, honestly, I'm sure that there are fanatics in every group.
Oh,
right?
they're
I'm sure that
everywhere.
yeah, but I didn't meet any. I mean, for the people that I met instantly right away, all wonderful people. Some of the early people I met were like Rob Arnold, the Barton brothers. Some of the early ones I met. Comic Book Bob was, I think, the first Comicsgater I met, and they were all wonderful people. We all became friends. We still are friends today. And if it wasn't because of those guys, meeting them, they introduced me to people who needed an inker. And knowing that I was an inker professionally in the mainstream, I wouldn't have started working in Comicsgate.
What were some of the books you worked on mainstream?
Well, originally beginning, I started helping Rob Arnold on Replicator 2 or 3. The only thing was I was letting him know the artist that he had at that time. I really wasn't feeling that artist. It's like a salsa. You gotta not the dip. I know. We always think
I do love
it's
salsa
like,
dip.
Yeah.
Well, I'm getting hungry here. When
I tell Comicsgate salsa, they're like, "Oh yeah, that's a good dip." No, I mean dance. You gotta mesh together. You gotta dance together, and I really wasn't feeling it. So after that, I think the Barton brothers had me do some inking. I did some inking for them. They introduced me to Malin. Malin needed an inker, and I just I agreed. I said, "Hey, I'm going to do one book, and then I've got my own creator-owned book I want to get back to." And he said, "Yeah," but he had so much work for me, and it was, man, they were great projects. Tommy Patterson, a fantastic artist, man. I started inking Tommy. Tommy and I became friends, and we're still friends. And next thing I know, I'm like 3-4 books deep. it's 2.5 years later,
Nice.
Yeah. So
are you feeling more financially fulfilled working with CG than before?
I had always done, when I was in the mainstream, I only inked comics part-time. I was I had a mortgage, and kids. I needed benefits, needed 401k. So I always had a day job, which I was a web developer. And then I would do comics, about 4 comics a year. And then I quit comics for about 15 years. And then I found Comicsgate and came into Comicsgate. But honestly, I feel fulfilled like completely everywhere in Comicsgate, financially, emotionally, just, it just feels good. It feels like I know we're all in competition with each other, honestly, but it feels like a brotherhood. You know what I mean? It feels like real support, from fans and from my peers, the CG Kings and everyone else, creating comics.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, it's like I was saying, we got competitions, fun that should be breeding further success. It should be like a Spartan core where it's like, no, I'm the best. No, I'm the best. And you jab each other and, you keep escalating and you're all winning.
Iron sharpens iron,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. If you want to show us your trailer, kick us off with that. Get some good feelers for people coming in.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Let me share. There you go.
Oh yeah. No, it's all right. It's all right. I'm used to that. I'm on CG Kings. Ethan does that. He does that every time. He starts.
I'm really bad with the share screen button. I'm always like, wait, where is it? Okay.
Yeah. No, I laugh.
Present.
Yeah, I laugh. I'm the same. You should watch my channel. If you're expecting quality production, when you watch my channel, you're on the wrong channel. It's not professional at all. But here we go. Here's a trailer for Dragonrage.
Oh, that's so cool.
Hell yeah. Stinger.
It's on fire.
Dragali, the true Dragon Masters.
Humans with the rare ability to capture the rage of the dragons, wielding their powers as their own.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I got Del Kim with that last night. He was sitting and he almost fell out of his chair when the dragon popped out. He's like, "Wow, that was cool, man!" You know?
No, it's funny. I never watched the trailer because I was just already dead set. Oh, he's got his book out. Let me back it just because your art. So
thanks.
that's actually my first time watching it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah,
put
man.
together the trailer, designed it all. I do designs and stuff like that for the CG Kings and other Comicsgate. You know, I want to give support. Like, I mean, I'm here in Comicsgate, but I don't want to just come in and bring my book and just go support me. You know, so so I come in and there's Comicsgaters out there. I've done free covers for them. I've designed logos for them. I've done free videos. So I'm here to help. You know, and I'm not just here to sit in the boat. I'm gonna grab an oar too. You know.
Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So walk us through this campaign.
Yeah. Do you want me to go through it, or you want to?
Yeah. However you want to deliver this.
Yeah. So Dragonrage is it is a full color book. It is going to be about 40 pages of story. The script originally was about 32 pages, and I started adding more pages of art to kind of help the storytelling. So it's expanded. The book is about 40% drawn already. Finished. I mean, it's almost completely penciled, but it's about 40% finished with inks and stuff like that. And I'm still in I'm at the end of my first 30 days. I'm down to hours in my first 30 days. So, I'm already, I think I'm ahead of schedule. You know, it's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
I know there's being a new guy, I want people to know that I'm going to deliver. I'm a professional. This is what I do. I'm not a first-time comic creator coming out here. You know, not that you can't be a first-time comic creator and deliver, but I'm just saying I know what I'm getting into. You know, I've experienced it. So with Dragonrage, the story's about these humans that have the rare ability, and they can capture the rage of a dragon. They can take the powers of the dragon and take on the powers and become dragon-like themselves. This particular race is like think of the Jedi. Like these are we call them the Dragari, and I say we, myself, and the writer. So they're called the Dragari, and they're human. They take on the rage of a dragon, and it gives them more power. But the power and the rage is really seductive. So you have to be really disciplined, because if you're not careful, you're not disciplined in that rage, you can lose control of it, and you become like a berserker. You're just full of rage, evil, hatred. You're killing dragons. You're killing humans. You're just killing anything. And they basically become like the Sith. They turn to the dark side. So
Nice.
Yeah, thanks. So don't
let the fire burn you.
That's right. Don't get burned by the rage.
You mentioned Star Wars. That's how I even got on YouTube. So, what is your favorite Star Wars film?
Whew, man, right away, it was Empire Strikes Back. I love Empire Strikes Back, but now I'm kind of leaning towards The Force Awakens. And
Soy, get him out of here!
Everybody does that to me when I say that. Everybody's like, "Oh, what? Oh, why?"
It's got the spirit of Star Wars to it. I appreciate. Yeah. I still own Force Awakens.
Everyone says, "Oh, it just mirrors A New Hope," and I'm like, "True, it does." It mirrors A New Hope, which is why I thought it was great. It took me back to my childhood, but Empire definitely was like one of the best sequels I think ever.
Oh yeah.
Next to Aliens, I think Aliens 2 better.
Oh,
than
yeah.
this one, you know.
Hell yeah, man.
No, I am a diehard Alien guy, but rewatching Aliens recently, I'm like, God, this is a amazing, perfect sequel. Because they did something totally different. They shook it up because you can't recreate the first one. So
Game over, man.
no, don't like Bill Paxton though.
No,
That's the one flaw of that movie is Bill Paxton.
And
He just kicked our ass.
Yeah, Mendoza. She's like, what is it? Whenever you see a man or whatever, and she's like, yeah, I'll let you know when I see one or something like that. She tells him.
Yeah, making fun of her because she was like butch or whatever. Apparently, because she's like she's actually Jewish. She's not Latino, and
Wow,
she
totally
got
full
more
name.
fan letters. Yeah, well, she was the mother in Terminator 2 with the the one that had the saw the T-1000 compromised.
Yeah,
that's the same actress.
Wow. Oh
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, kills Fluffy or whatever. The husband's head, like, got the milk through his face.
Yeah,
but,
with the arm comes out. Like,
yeah, she got more. She got more fan mail than Sigourney Weaver did.
No way. And Sigourney Weaver comes out in her underwear. She looked good too. And
like, hey Vasquez, you got some more
Vasquez,
mail.
That's what it was. That was Mendoza. Vasquez. Yeah, that's right. And have you seen her now? Like, she looks much more butch now.
Damn!
Now that she's older, yeah, I saw then and now video, and I went, whoa. Yeah, she got bigger, and I think her hair is even shorter.
It's funny, like, oh, she's actually Jewish, and it's like Goldstein. Ah, there we go.
Oy vey, you caught me out.
She pulled off Vasquez.
She looks kind of like an old Bride of Frankenstein now. Like her hair is like half full.
Yes, the way her hair.
It's alive.
Yeah, I was looking at that. But then again, I mean, Sigourney Weaver is very old too. If you look at Sigourney Weaver now, and you're like,
oh yeah.
But she's still, I think she still, looks pretty good. I mean,
I'd still hit.
Yeah, yeah. But so I took inspiration from my favorite stuff, my favorite movies like Star Wars, with the Jedis and like the Sith, and like every story should have a yin and a yang. There should be a balance between good and evil, but it should be offset a little bit. I think it should be a bit of David and Goliath, where the good is a bit of an underdog, and the evil should seem like overwhelming, and it should seem, I want the readers to be like, how the hell are they going to defeat this great evil? They're at odds with. So every character in this book has their opposite. The girl on the left, her name is Revna, and she's a Dragari, but she's like on the evil side, and her opposite is Nuri, and Nuri's a little younger, newer Dragari, and not as experienced as Revna. So those are the two opposites that kind of battle each other. It's kind of like a Darth Vader and Obi-Wan,
Nice.
Yeah, so there's a lot of that in there. There's and the guy standing behind Revna with the gold arms and the red hair, which, by the way, I got two gingers in my story. So
whoa.
I can't wait for the Netflix adaptation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, wait a minute.
That's Christopher Bolton.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Why is Vasquez playing the role of character was Ginger? And so she's got her brother. He's got red hair, but he's the only one to ever capture the rage of a two-headed dragon, which was extremely rare. They don't exist anymore in the current timeline of this book. So he's very, very powerful. And his polar opposite is another swordsman that's very skilled right here. His name is Thrago. So this is the guy on the good side, and he's got to go up against somebody who's just twice as skilled as he is and twice as powerful. So it's really neat when we introduce all these characters and we have a slow build and how they all start, coming together and having this big conflict.
Nice.
And a lot of them you'll find share the same goal. So you have a lot of empathy for a lot of these characters, even though some of them are on the bad side. We start building that, but yeah, it's really good. This book, I would definitely say it's a mature reader book. There is nudity in the book.
Oh, hey now.
It goes back to hardcore fantasy, man. Like back in the day, Savage Sword of Conan. It was savage, masculine men, sexy women. And that's what Dragonrage is, man. It's hardcore, you know. So you know, if you're a your little softy soy SJW, you're gonna
You need to have
hate
this much
book.
testosterone to like.
Yeah.
Look at you thought Bo-Katan's boob armor was a problem. Look at this lady's boob armor.
Yeah. I should ship every
Nipple
book
clamps.
with a testosterone level tester. You know.
Yeah. It's like a breathalyzer. You gotta like stick your thumb in there. It's like, oh, too low. You can't open the book.
Yeah. It's like it's too soy. You can't handle this book. You know. Yeah, this book is, it's definitely, high testosterone book. It's got, a lot of great action in it. There is a lot of really good, attractive female characters. Because,
Nice.
I don't think people should be afraid of attractive women. Why would you want to show women as like, oh, just be frumpy. Frumpy's all right, okay.
So depressing.
I don't even want to be frumpy me,
Yeah, well, that's the thing is if I want to see ugly woman, I got reality for that,
Yeah,
exactly. If I want to see an ugly dude, I can look in the mirror. Like, this is fantasy. You should see like the apex of it.
Exactly, the apex. Like that's what I'm thinking. Like, you know what? If I want to see a guy who can barely lift 10 pounds, I'll look in the mirror. You know what I mean? A guy who can do one push-up. You know what I mean?
I like the stairs.
Yeah, right. I'm a guy who takes an elevator everywhere and doesn't take the stairs. That's me. But I want to see the fantasy. I want to see the guys that I look up to. That I want to be. The guy out there kicking ass, wielding a sword. With the beautiful, hot, sexy women. That's the fantasy I want. That's the stuff I want to see. So I figure it's the same thing for women. Women want to see the beautiful, hot, sexy woman that all the men desire. Because you can't tell me there aren't women out there who want the desire of every man.
Well, that's the thing is men and women have two different types of power fantasies. And unfortunately, modern feminism is trying to force male power fantasies on women.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you on that. I think, and it's just, I don't really, and they're trying to strip men of masculinity. They're trying to attach toxic to masculinity, and it's two totally different things. Masculinity isn't toxic. Toxic,
not at all. The lack of it.
Yeah, it's just anybody can be toxic. You don't have to be masculine to be evil and do evil things. But
exactly.
In this book, we're showing masculinity in a way that I believe it should be. It's even by SJW standards or whatever. I don't. Well, no, they hate everything. They're going to be like,
nothing makes them happy.
yeah, they're going to look at Mickey Mouse and be like, toxic masculinity. No, I don't like the way you treat men. Exclusionary. Yeah, they're already changing those old black and white Mickey Mouse cartoons now. They're, it's like,
oh, God,
So yeah, they're gonna hate this book, but but it's got great, good male characters, man, that I know people are just gonna love and want to be like, because and that's what I'm doing. I'm giving people heroes to look up to, characters you can relate to and look up to. What DC Comics did way back in the day, before DC, but when they gave Superman, they gave everybody a hero, during the time when there was a depression and stuff, and a character to look up to. And during the war, Marvel Comics and Stan Lee and everybody back in the day gave you Captain America, and that's what I'm doing right now in the age and the time where they're telling you men can't be heroes. Men have to be, soy and have to, you got to stop and be like, ma'am, be like the Will Smith did in that superhero movie that he made.
Was it Hutch or no?
No, it was Hancock.
Hancock.
Yeah, where he's like, ma'am, do I have your permission to place my hands on you, touch you before you get saved in the situation? Like that's like all superheroes now. Like, ma'am, may I have your permission, ma'am? I'm going to touch you, but not in a sexual way.
Feminized.
Not that you're not attracted. He went through that whole spiel, and I'm like, no, man, Conan wouldn't have done that in Savage Sword, man. It'd be like, woman, get up, I'm taking the woman, drop her up on there, save her from the fire, or whatever. And that's what I'm bringing back, man. I'm bringing back.
Nice. Bring it back to rock and roll to fantasy comics. Nice.
Yeah, definitely. And we're lacking. Have you seen the trailer to Dungeons and Dragons?
Oh God! You see the interview where they said they intentionally emasculated the male heroes?
Yes, dude. Oh God, I couldn't believe the director and saying that, and they were saying that they created the movie they wanted, like what they want to make, and they didn't respect the source material. They admit it,
Yeah.
And I can't believe that. I mean, that's if that wasn't more of a slap in the face. Not they think they're slapping like men, right? But no, they're slapping all the fans of Dungeons and Dragons, going, we don't respect you.
Well, dude, look what they did to freaking Hemsworth there in the latest Thor movie. They made him a male bimbo, and like he got like freaked out of his tree, man. That guy was shredded as hell. Like, and they like had Natalie Portman in there, and they like CGI'd her muscles because she couldn't bulk up. And it was like they just turned him into a clown. So it was like a giant, like just bastardization of the source material, just to say, look at how dumb men are.
Yeah, she was, and she was like got the whole Thor thing down real fast, and and then he's chasing the hammer. He's stuck between a hammer and an axe, like Yeah, they just the whole message from the MCU thing is that men are stupid, especially we saw that in She-Hulk with the way that they talk to the men legally, what are those called? Those not the legal paralegals.
Yeah,
they had a male paralegal, and they were the top dominant lawyers, and it was just pushed in the face, and the agenda was obvious. But yeah, that's why I like Comicsgate, man, because people are here to create things that we enjoy, things that are good. We're not activists. We're not trying to push some hidden agenda, and just use a comic book as a soapbox,
Yeah. Look at that dragon. Look at that freaking dragon, man. That's a pencil, and it looks freaking epic.
yeah. This hasn't been inked yet or colored yet. So I'm glad you guys like it, not like judging it.
See why I backed this without even watching or reading anything? I'm like, yeah.
Same here. Chunk.
Thanks. No, I
take
really,
my money.
Yeah, the fry.
I really appreciate that.
Let me see. How far? So you just need $541 and we'll get the bookmark. Have you already shown what the bookmark will be?
No, not yet. I'm actually gonna put an update out there and ask backers, which characters or any art you've seen so far from a certain character who you'd like to see as a bookmark.
Das Boobas.
Yeah, because the one that that I would recommend, and this is just like me as using my eye of design, would be this character right here. He's kind of straight vertical.
The hero.
Yeah, and I think he would make a good bookmark. But I have a feeling there might be a few that might go.
I'm a bit impartial to the boobs, but yeah, that's me.
Possibly like a new one where she's like doing like a Michael Turner pose or something, like Fathom.
Yeah, something a little more vertical. Because I was gonna kind of turn this angle a little bit and kind of fit it in the bookmark. But yeah, I could even do something new. I'm trying to really. I don't want to delay the book, so I don't want to offer like new art because I want to concentrate on the interior pages and just spend every hour and every minute that I can on those pages.
Jesus, the detail, man, that's got to be.
Thanks.
I do not envy you sitting there like. Now, is this digital or is this traditional?
Yeah, this is digital.
Thank God, man.
Doing here.
For your sanity, thank God. The detail in that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, for my eyes, because I can blow things up a little bit and not strain my eyes as I would if I'm back there on my drafting table. I have to like really focus. So that's the whole reason I went digital. Really, was mostly just for my eyes and to save a little time.
Yeah, dude. Not only that, but like just the headaches, man. Like I know that there's like a big push, like, oh, I love traditional media and blah blah blah. First of all, there's no edit undo in traditional media, so you could have 95% of your work done, screw something up, boom, throw the whole damn thing out, start again. And you do that once or twice, and then morale starts dropping. So when you're in digital, especially when you got that much detail, man, like, yeah, that's freaking awesome.
No, thanks. I appreciate that. I put a lot of work into my art that
I don't see it.
Yeah.
well, it begs
You
itself.
need to put more hours in, man. You need more hours.
Well, it kind of begs itself. Like, have you considered releasing like is this a color book or just a complete black and white?
No, it's gonna be in color. Yeah, it's gonna be
So
a color book.
you're like it's kind of like with Rini Draws there. So I got both versions because I originally got the black and white one because her inking style also lends itself really well to like the shadows and the grading and stuff.
Yeah.
And like looking at this dude, I don't know if you're considering it or not at a later time or whatever, but like even without the color, like you can see everything there. Like that's not like something a lot of times you'll see like inking where it's kind of reliant on colors, if you know what I mean, to get those details out.
Yeah.
Like I'm seeing everything here.
Well, I like to render, and I think the rendering and spotting my black helps, but I'm trying not to over render because then I could, it's a double-edged sword. Like I could render it and it really separates everything, or I could over render it and it just blends it all back together.
Yeah, like so it looks like I'm busy.
Yeah, finding that balance. But I did release my first Dragonrage book that I did before I was Comicsgate. I released a black and white version of it, and it did pretty well. People bought the black and white one. This time around, I thought, well, I just want to see how many people like my art first, because I'm bringing it to Comicsgate, and that's the whole reason I wanted to revamp everything and start over, to bring it into a new audience, give them a chance to start from the beginning, not have to offer a reprint of issue number 1. And I didn't want to take away from those that have backed it the first time, because eventually the story is going to connect to that issue. So at a later time, I'll reprint that first one for people that want to get back into it. But I didn't want to take away from those that originally backed it. So my first campaign, before it's pre-CG, I had 200. I closed it in 30 days with 257 backers. Now that I'm in Comicsgate, I know we're going to blow past it. We're so close. We're at 254. I got 32 hours. My personal goal for me is to get more backers in Comicsgate than I had outside Comicsgate, so that I know SJWs are going to come in and want to talk shit later on, and go, well, he should have stayed out there before, he had more backers, because they're going to find, they look for any little thing, so I'll be happy with 258 backers, even just one over, just so I can say, haha, you know what? I either I broke even or I did more, but I believe in Comicsgate, man. We're going to blow past it. I'm not even worried.
Hell yeah.
I think when you're drawing this, you need this warning for yourself. No horny.
Yeah. I'm telling you.
That's why I was being quiet, because I'm like, I'm digging into Last of Us. I'm playing the first one, and I'm going to play the second one. And I figured that'd be, how's no one made a no horny meme out of her?
Yeah. Speaking of Last of Us, I broke out my old PlayStation.
Oh wow!
And that has the Last of Us
remastered.
Yeah, and it was for the PS4 back then, and
it
was
that's
a PS3
copy I got.
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
So I got it, a remastered version, but it's in the hard drive. So I said, you know what, man, I need to go back and play that game again. But we're talking Dungeons and Dragons. Look what my wife got me for Christmas, man. The big old giant thing behind my eyes, otherwise so the camera can focus.
Gargantuan Tiamat.
Yeah, look at that, man. This thing is freaking giant.
Whoa.
That's like and then like this is the length of one wing, right? And so her body's right here, a wing right here, and a wing right here. And when you bring her out, those wings spread all the way out. And jeez. I've got nowhere right now to put it. So
yeah.
So do you like so I've never played D&D, so is like this for like actual tabletop use, or is this?
I hope not.
No,
because
this is the statue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not to scale, because if that thing would, like, any player, like the player scale is like maybe 1 inch, like 26 millimeters.
It'd be like a world killer dragon.
Yeah, you get that thing. It's like, yeah, your players just collectively shat themselves.
Yeah, it's got to be, it's pretty big when you put it out. It's huge, but it's to be painted. It's the primered version, nice. And then you paint it, and and you put it up there. But my wife spent like $3.99 on it, and then there was a guy there who said, "Well, if you buy it, I'll paint it for you." And we go, "Oh, how much does it cost to paint it?" And he's like, "Oh, I'll do it for like $2.99." I'm like, "Holy crap!" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm giving you a deal. Like that's cheaper than most people or whatever." And
he just paints it black or some solid.
He didn't say that. I never said if you look at the picture.
Semantics.
Yeah. He's like, I just got to spray paint it all.
Well, I did paint it.
And like, but you primered it again. He's like, yeah. I used all primer.
Yes. Why is it white?
Yeah. Went from primer gray to primer white. There you go.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. So
Dude, that is sick though.
Yeah, it's huge. I'm not a big player in D&D, but I love dragons. So anything with dragons, I will. If I see something with a dragon, a toy or anything, I buy it. And I've got tons of. I got all the McFarlane ones. I'm pointing over here, but it's off camera.
I gotta ask you say you love dragons. When you were a kid, did you get suckered into watching Pete's Dragon?
Yes, I knew you were gonna go there. Yeah.
I hate that movie because I hate like cutesy a dragon. He's all like cutesy doopy dude,
purple haired. Yeah.
Awful,
dude. And it was, everything was live action, and he's completely animated. But when I was a kid, it was all the same world. Like I was like, I don't see a difference.
Oh, wow.
I loved it.
Second Street is having reverse side effects of
CG.
He's lost testosterone. He went from 8-inch, now he's 4.5 and
he's got bitch tits.
And he has to go to the gynecologist.
Oh,
no, it's gynecomastia. It's the technical term for man boobs.
Oh, damn.
Well, you need to back Jimmy Reyes to fix that because this is IT.
That's right, man. This right here will put furries on your little gummy bears. Little grape nuggets will get more get furrier with this, man.
Put a little hair on your man purse.
Yeah.
We'll go from little grape nuts to shredded wheat blocks.
Yeah. You get some grapefruits. High testosterone on this one. Yeah. And I warned the ladies. If you're gonna back this book, it's not my fault if you get pregnant from this comic book.
Dude, that would be the funniest ad ever. Is you got your book there and there's like a little kid, he's like maybe like 14, he's got the book, and then he lifts the cover up, and then the cover comes back down and he's got like a ZZ Top beard.
Yeah,
that's good. That's good. I'll do you one better. Here's my pitch. All right, woman goes in, she's Mr. Period, she's at the gynecologist, got her legs in the stirrup, and like, I'm afraid you're pregnant, ma'am. It's like, what? And he's like, it's a common side effect. Did you happen to back Dragonrage?
Yeah. She's like, oh my God, how did you know?
She's like,
He opens the waiting room, all the other women there with their issues of Dragonrage and their
He's got the ultrasound. He's got the ultrasound and the baby's reading the book.
Yeah.
That's for free.
Dragon,
I just get producer credit.
Yeah.
This book's high tea. You got to watch out, man. Yeah. Well, since it's high testosterone, that should attract all the transitioning women. They wouldn't come over and be like, oh
damn,
hormone injections.
Dragonrage made me bald.
Give me a full beard. It deepened my voice.
Oh my God!
You should scour TikTok for all those men going, oh, you have balding problems? You should scour that and be like, warning trans men, if you want a full injection of testosterone, back Dragonrage.
This is your new HRT, and it's just a book.
You got a lot of angles here.
Yeah.
This is how you could use outrage to sell your book.
Yeah, people be talking about it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh
Dragonrage, man. It's a lot of fun to draw, but like you said, no horny. I gotta like no homo.
Low snip place.
In case I'll show in case Second Street didn't see. I said no horny.
That
bonky.
Sometimes I question myself, like when I'm working on the book, I go, am I showing too much?
No.
You know, I go, man, like, am I going to scare people off? Because here's the one of the interior pages right here that I was wondering that, like, I covered it up because of Indiegogo. You know, Indiegogo makes you have to cover it up.
Yeah.
But, you know, she's got a boob. And I posted on Twitter, right? And I went, dude, am I showing too much? And I posted on Twitter. The first comment I get was, free the nipple.
Let it breathe.
Let it breathe. Yeah. And I was like, oh, yeah, I guess people are okay with it. You know, it's all dudes anyway behind the book.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's how you should be making these. You should be thinking, I'm selling to men, and you know, it's okay to appeal to a niche or like the idea of a niche.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's probably what's wrong with the mainstream. Is they're like, wow, women demographics growing exponentially. It's like, yeah, are you talking about what 5% to 6%?
Like, we went from 1 female reader to 2. We're growing. You know, it's huge now.
What's up, Rev Kev?
Hey.
Oh, if any of y'all curious about this book, of course you can type it in. But in the description, the link for Jimmy Reyes' channel to watch his draw streams and him talking, and also the book Indiegogo link is in the description. But I'll share it again.
Nice.
Yeah, thanks. You know, this one right here with Dragonrage, I launched my book, and the first person to back it was a female. And she went in the all-in tier, you know, and it was a woman, and I went, oh man, like I hope she's not expecting it to be like some kind of, you know, Anne Rice vampire thing like this. I'm a big fan of Savage Sword of Conan. I'm going full on, you know, hardcore, you know, masculine men and sexy women, you know, and so I thought, well, I better post something and let people know that. See in the inside, like there is nudity, you know, in the book, you know, there is sexy female characters. So
have you ever read Sunstone?
No.
Yeah, Sunstone is it Stefan Sejic? It's full horny. It's about this lesbian dominatrix. Yeah, it's full bore sex, and like
it's
I think
painted, right?
I think Sejic is like perfectly balance of like making like visually just sex, but also there's like the female sensibility. I think writing, it's like all encompassing for mature audience. So yeah, never worry about that. That was a huge success.
Well, and like there are plenty of women who like men's stuff. You know what I mean? Like I think it's a mistake to assume that like in order to cater to women, we need to make things feminized. Yeah. No, like there are a lot of rock and roll chicks out there. You go to like concerts and stuff, and you see a whole bunch of dudes moshing. You see a whole bunch of hot chicks out there too with their flapjacks out. You
know? you can join the mosh pit as long as your flapjacks out.
Yeah, hell yeah.
No, but my wife Anna, who's in her 20s, she likes this. She said, you know, I like that the chick with the horn because she's sexy. You know, she likes that. She looks up to the character, and I thought, yeah, there's got to be more women out there who, you know, I can't believe this world is full of feminists. You know, it's got to be. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of women out there going, yeah, that's a sexy character. You know, the same reason they like Vampirella. You know, or they like Lady Death. You know, sexy character.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is feminism. I think it's less than 30% of women today consider themselves a feminist, and that number is dropping from like it's going down. Yeah. And I think the reason why we've been like our perception has been so skewed into thinking like we live in like a feminized world or whatever is because all of our corporate media has been hijacked. You know, when you start talking to real people, you go out to these places, you go to conventions and stuff, and you're like, wow, there's like one purple-haired irritable hippopotamus, and then there's a bunch of normal chicks.
Well, it's because they're trying to control the narrative. Like they're trying to make you believe that this is the majority, but it's not. You know, it's such a small little number.
Exactly.
You know, now I'm gonna be thinking about the purple hair hippopotamus. No, just kidding.
No.
Second Street says, I bought volume 1 of Sunstone. I just haven't read it yet. great art.
He's like, it's
I
like,
read
Yeah,
it
no,
for the articles.
I've actually read probably 2/3 of it. I have the first volume, and it's actually interesting. Within the confines, it's all just about like two horny girls, and they find each other online and start meeting.
wow. Yeah. Like we all wish our reality was. We're like, hey,
Yeah.
hey,
Nice.
Yeah, that's the thing is when you make a book with you got an idea, you want to do this, even within CG, don't let CG individuals influence censorship. Like any censorship should just be yourself, and even then, you should probably doubt your own inclination to censor, because I think because of Twitter, because of the MSM and whatnot, we got this over awareness of the outside versus, you think Dr. Seuss or Hugh Hefner or whoever would, like, if they had today's world and thinking about like, oh, well, like people are going to cancel me or censor me or want this to be taken out. Do you think we would be where we are if they didn't just stick to their vision? And so that's like you got to be aware of that within your own group too, that would support you. Is sometimes there might be, look at Batman, Michael Keaton, Heath Ledger, Batfleck. Oh no. And then all those castings have done well.
Yeah, if you have fear and doubt, don't create innovation and don't create, things that are. I mean, sometimes art was always supposed to be provocative. It was supposed to always generate an emotion from those that are viewing or reading. You're either supposed to love it, hate it, or get excited about it. And censorship, just it derails all that.
Well, they say the opposite of love isn't hate; it's indifference. And the worst thing that somebody can have for your book is being indifferent about it. You want that emotion. You want them to love it or hate it. Doesn't matter. They'll buy it. They're going to talk about it.
Say what you will about Batwoman or Last Jedi. The outrage and the disdain gets attention to it. And people talk about it. It's going to last longer than like, oh, well, that thing was okay.
Well, it's because people, those that knew the IP had already become attached to it, loved it. They were passionate about it. And even whenever you get them talking about it, I mean, you could create the Streisand effect out of it. You know? And it brings awareness to whatever, the IP. It has, people think, oh, it's going to be negative, but instead it brings awareness and you get more increased sales, you get more attention.
They still feed
Speaking
the
of
machine.
sales, you should refresh your page because I think you got another backer.
Oh, hell yeah.
Let's take a look. Let's refresh.
254.
Woo, we are.
I got two.
About to hit my personal goal. Like I said, before I was Comicsgate, I closed at 30 days with 257 backers, and I want to beat it at least by one, just so I know, because I have friends in the mainstream that are already telling me, you go on a CG, that you're going to fail. CG's you're not supposed to go there. You ruined yourself. I don't want to say like exactly what they said, but I mean, we're still friends, and I know they're going to talk shit and go, you know what, before you were CG, you got 257 backers. How many did you get in CG? You know what I mean? So for me, my personal goal is to at least beat it by one. That's what I want, because, I'm still in decent terms with a few of these people in the mainstream that are against Comicsgate. Most of them have shunned me right away, dude.
That sucks, man.
SJWs, they consider themselves liberals, right? Not to go political here, but they consider some liberals. And the definition of liberal is to be open-minded to other opinions, right? But I have not met one liberal open-minded to another opinion that's different than theirs.
They're dogmatic, man. Like it's a cult almost. It's like and the reason why they get called NPCs is because they all have the exact same script. Like it's mock, like they'll do the laugh emoji or whatever to your posts, and then it's attack. They get angry at you, and then they'll get physical. And
they got a handbook. They're like, wait a minute, what step do I do next?
Well, in web code, it would be like an if-then statement with a loop. It's just continual. It's like
the perfect example is this one like kind of field contributor for Fox. You can look it up on YouTube. He went in the public and asked all these like dumb fuck college kids like about ID laws. And they're like, oh, this targets people of color and they can't easily access the internet and this and that, or find their DMVs, etc. to do it. And then he went to like Harlem and he's just like, hey, black person, do you have an ID?
Yeah, they're like, what the hell?
They're like, well, yeah. Like, it's like you think about like the like Cult 45 or any of these like stereotypical products of like alcohol. It's like, how do you think these black people are buying it?
Yeah. It's just materializing in their hands. Like, yeah.
Like just a moment of thought defeats the narrative.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, question the narrative, definitely. That's what I did. They started out right away when I first met Comicsgate. Suddenly, I mean, there's SJWs like bam right there, and telling me all the all the keywords, for why I shouldn't be around these Comicsgaters. And for me, I'm like, hey man, all right, well that makes me want to go find out.
Yeah.
I'm not just gonna take your word on it. I mean, I barely know these people. They're online. So I went in and I met CG and went, hey, I think like these guys. They're like me, and I'm like, dude, thanks. You guys, you introduced me to what became my home, So,
yeah. I remember, was it Mark Brooks or whatever who was doing the concern trolling there for Rini? Like, oh, you're going to ruin you're going to destroy your career. I used to respect you and all this stuff. And it's like, what's going on here? Like, why? Like, the only person I'm in danger of is you, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, I've been here since Rini came in and I mean, I even met Rini. She backed my book. Dragonrage is the first one before I was Comicsgate. And she and I, we talked for a little bit, and I brought her on to, back when I was doing Page One Comics, brought her on, before she was Comicsgate and everything. I met her, and so I got to see her come in at Comicsgate and everything. But you know what? She's flourishing here.
Yeah,
tons of support.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't see any harm at all for her.
Yeah, just that whole like that's gonna ruin your career, and like they're feigning concern when in actuality they're just trying to tell you to get in line.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you're gonna be successful, more successful than I am. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Why? Because I'm concerned for you.
I gotta ink. I'm not Starfire too.
Yeah. Yeah, well, like Rini and I have the similar story, and she and I were both on like young reader books and stuff, and we were both doing stuff for Marvel, and they stopped giving us work. It wasn't like they were giving us work, and here at Comicsgate is giving us work. We're making money. We're getting to create stuff that we want to do. So yeah, she and I, and we both like fantasy, so we kind of similar stories and stuff, and so I think out of everybody, it's like easier for me to relate, with her backstory and how she got here.
Nice.
They're both pretty similar,
Yeah, dude, I'm just happy that we're getting like. I mean, it's not that I don't like capes and tights, but I love the fact that like CG is giving us this birth of genres. You're getting a whole bunch of cool stuff that's not just, hey, look, it's another Batman, or hey, look, it's another Moon Knight, or
Yeah, I think we need to be innovative. We need to be creative, and think outside the box. Let DC and them, they want to do, the superhero thing, and why recreate your version of Marvel DC? Create something that you're passionate about, and you'll find that there are others out there that are just as passionate, or even more. Based on I mean, look at Cyberfrog. We got Cyberfrog out there.
Yep.
Freaking incredible. It's selling so great. And then we got like Jack the Ripper, with Mandy's book that she's doing. I mean, I love that. It's a period book. It's completely different than Cyberfrog. Vampire Slayer, yeah, completely different than Cyberfrog. And then I've got Dragonrage out here. You know what I mean? And it's a wide variety for everybody.
Hell yeah.
HK's liking it.
It took me a while to figure out what he was spelling.
Boobies.
Yeah. I was like, big titums? What is that? I was like,
she has huge tracts of land.
Bad HK, bad.
But for No Horny, it's not a slap on the hand. They slap the testicles.
Oh,
straight to the sack.
Like that James Bond movie there.
Yeah.
It's like sitting in the chair, they like whip him. Oh,
no horny.
Oh, that could be another good one. I'll have to clip. Casino Royale with the rope.
Yep.
I love that scene, man. When he's like to the left. He's like, what?
Big titum. You know, I originally I made her white hair, gray skin, and a big boobs, and then somebody went, "Are you drawing Lady Death?" And I was like, "Oh, I think I kind of was." You know, I'm like, "Oh no, it's not Lady Death, man." You know, so I'm
excited about this story wise. You said Lady Death because I'm slowly reading the current canonical run with the Kickstarter stuff by Polito. My first independent finding on my own comic in like 2014 up here in Columbus area was I was just walking around and I saw the word Purgatory with an I, and I'm like, I used to be Catholic. I'm like, what is this? And I pulled out demon vampire goddess, and I love AC/DC, I love devil shit, so I'm like, oh my god, this is perfect. And so that's my window to Lady Death. But it's funny, like hearing all this story stuff, like the Star Wars element, good and the light and the dark with you call them Dragari?
Dragari, yeah.
Dragari. You already have more story than Lady Death or any of the Polito stuff. Maybe not the newer stuff like Hell Witch, but when I read it, it's like this is just like rock and roll horny, and it's fun. It's cheesecake, but like there's not really a lot of substance when I read Lady Death. It's
like
just
Druna.
So I like that you're
Druna. Oh yeah,
you're taking like this kind of template of art and fantasy medieval, but you already have something substantive.
Well,
look at that dragon, man.
When you come into Comicsgate, like I know it's part people supporting the creator, but I want people to support me and support this book because they like this book, because they enjoy the art and the story. So the story isn't just, it isn't going to be cheesecake or just, a monkey dancing or something. It's going to be, I want it to be a good story, something that 20 years down the road, you're going to look back and go, I remember when I backed this, and read it again and go, damn, this is good. I'm still horny. Still no horny.
When we watch the Netflix cartoon where there's like a black woman or a black guy,
the redhead.
And they're like, hey, I got the book, the original, man. She's a ginger in that.
Yeah, we can prove it.
Respect the source material. That would be hilarious if you actually this skyrocketed your IP and got that option, because then you could, unless they made you like NDA, you could just like hate bait your own product for your channel.
Make them flat chested and
we're like National Geographic style. We're talking like those 2D ones.
Orangutan.
I didn't even realize what Second Street was saying. Angus would like Hell Witch. She was getting on with the chick with a little something extra.
Oh no, Futanari.
Oh, that was like Danzig's Vertigo. What was it? No, not Vertigo. Verotica. Remember Danzig did a Verotica and had the chick with the horns, and she had that extra.
Yep.
She had she had a cucumber. No, what do you put? Plant.
Hell yeah. That's right up my alley.
You should see that
perfect fusion.
Simon Bisley art, man. It's badass. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Definitely an inspiration. Yeah. And Danzig was a writer on it. Yeah. And Simon Bisley was the artist.
I never even heard of this. Now you got me looking up.
Yeah.
You got all quiet there. We're like, we had him at Eggplant, guys.
Yeah.
Second Street, we got him at Eggplant.
It's so irritating seeing this trans. The argument of trans should be, is it gay to like traps? And of course, the answer is, if you're a man, who gives a fuck? I do what I want, not kids and bathrooms and all this weird shit. And one of them on Drew Barrymore's channel. Like,
oh God,
what the man? We should just be enjoying. Like, oh no, am I gay? And it's like, hey, it's okay. You're not gay. That should be the argument.
Oh. I think art. You love whatever art you like, man. Buy whatever comic book you want.
Get some binding over them boobs.
Yeah.
She's got
Give her-
armor.
Give her a beer
Yeah.
gut and flat tits.
Right? Yeah. Full
So-
Thor.
So,
April
like
O'Neil.
aesthetically, this art is very pleasing. Is there any story awareness for the reader as to why she has just like nipple armor?
Well, they
Clamps.
well I guess the long answer would be the back in the day. So in the history of this book, dragons were the guardians of man. They were the guardians. They were at peace with humans. And as the dragon got older, they got more powerful. But dragons aren't immortal, so eventually they would expire, and they would then willingly bond with a human, creating the Jugari. And so when the Jugari gets the rage of the dragon, its essence, and takes on its powers, they manifest more features. So for her, that's actual. It's not actual. It's dragon scales, armor. So like her areolas and stuff like just become dragon scale. So they don't actually wear any armor. She does have a girdle. That's about it. But when she turns off that power, she would be fully topless. Right there in that part. So so I thought about it and went, all right. So I'll pull back on the nipples and areolas becoming dragon-like scales, and I'll just give her armor pasties. So when she powers down and is walking around, she just has pasties on. So I went with that. So they're actual pasties on there to cover up. But they don't need. The more she taps into this rage, the more scales and the more dragon-like she'll look. So eventually, like she can get scales and armor over her breast and everything. So they don't really need it, and they could be completely naked. And then when they power up, but then that would be a whole nother comic book. It would, yeah.
That can be a perk comic.
Yeah,
Or Ashkin or something.
Yeah,
the not so virgin cover.
The not so virgin cover. Yeah. I'd be like, Daddy,
that's
don't
actually
touch me.
clever. I like that.
Madonna. Yeah. So so what happened is in the kingdom there, they discovered, well, if we have two Jugari, they're more powerful than an army of men. What if we had an army of Jugari? So then they start turning on the dragons. They go and they hunt down the dragons and kill them, because these people that have the potential to be a Jugari can actually capture the rage. Before the dragon, they defeat the dragon before it dies. They take its rage and it becomes a dragon stone. They embed it in whatever weapon they wield. And as they're fighting, they can call upon its rage and become the way you see them. They'll get the scales. And the more powerful the dragon, the more rage you have available. So the more power level you have to use. But the only thing is, not all of them are able to handle that kind of rage. You can lose control. So you can see them right here. They're holding up their swords. They're calling upon the spirits of whatever dragon, and then they become like this. They become more. You start to see the dragon feature on them after they powered up.
Yeah.
I have the power. No.
Oh!
You don't want to get sued. But yeah. So they power up. Even their swords power up. Their swords become fire because they're dragons, and dragons breathe fire. So the swords become their fire, their breath of fire.
So you don't have like any ice dragons?
Yeah, we have different types of dragons. So that's a good question. There are different types, and each dragon had its own ability, a special ability. Like if you think of vampires, like when somebody becomes a vampire, some of them become a little psychic, or they have visions or whatever. Dragons have their own different abilities, so they take on that ability based on whatever dragon they had. So yeah, some dragons can do ice, and you'll see that some of their blades will be blue instead of red or fire. And then if you lose control, you become a berserker. And here's the scene right here that I put in the update. This guy right here decided to power up even further, and he changes. The guy that we saw that was in the middle with the beard, when he powers up even more, and he takes on even more dragon-like features. But the more dragon-like and more rage you consume, the less human you are. And so without the ability to control that rage, to rationalize and control and everything, you're just, you're pure rage, pure evil.
So you got like a Hulk dichotomy built in.
Yeah, like a Hulk dichotomy, definitely. Yeah, but I can't say that because we don't get sued. I already went with the Thor Gray Skull, but I mean, what I did was I took a lot of the things that I loved, all the amalgamation of everything, different genres and stuff, and bring it together, and to be able to create a whole new fantasy and tell a story in the way that hasn't been done before. But
I haven't ever backed any stuff, but I follow him on Twitter. The Mount Olympus. You seen their comics, Patriotica?
Oh yes, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's that character or other characters, but I've seen this little wink workaround because like this art here, the bottom panel, or the bottom on the page I'm seeing on the screen, reminds me of Game of Thrones, the Drogon.
Yeah,
and I was thinking, just an idea, and this could be for any CG person. They do this thing where it's like, oh look, Scarlet Witch, but it's like this is our character cosplaying as blank. So you could do like Daenerys or something. Be like, here is X character cosplaying as Daenerys for just little perks or additional stuff. For, I don't know.
I mean, it's funny, it's lighthearted, and I have a big sense of humor, and I love that. I love being funny, but I don't want to take the readers out of the fantasy. I want to build. I'm world building and want them to be in the world of Dragonrage. And then if I cosplay, then it takes them out of it. I want them to, because if they did that in Star Wars, then it'd be like, oh god, Star Wars has gotten silly. This is stupid. but I like that idea, and I think I'm gonna do something like that, like in a backstory or something, just to be, like a little panel.
Cheeky.
Yeah.
But when you said Drogon, I have these right here, where the McFarlane.
Sweet.
So it's a little cheat, but I spin them around and move them, and I can draw. I have a little bubble,
That's pretty sweet, man.
Yeah. So I have a whole bunch of them here. That I have all 3 of them, and plus when the one that died and the one that became the Revenant, the one with the breathing fire. I forgot which one that is. I have all 3. I forget which one he was.
It's what Drogon
Viserys was the one that turned into
Viserys. Oh yeah, here this is Viserys.
And
Rhaegal.
And Rhaegal's one got shot by the Iron Fleet.
Yeah. So I have him right there, but I even have him in the blue, but he's still in the box. The one when he's in blue, I never opened it because it's the same exact mold and everything.
That's a funny cheat by McFarlane.
Yeah, it's a palette swap.
Yeah, instead of an orange fireball, it's blue. So they suckered me into it because I love the whole. I love dragons, so anytime I can dragons.
You ever see like the old school, like 90s Dungeons and Dragons art, like Clyde Caldwell and Larry Elmore?
Yeah,
dude, I love those designs.
I have a lot of those comic books, and I also have The Ring, which was Gil Kane, Roy Thomas at DC Comics. I also have Dragonlance.
Oh yeah!
Hey, hell yeah!
You just bumped 2 backers.
Oh no way! Really?
Wait, did you break it?
Over?
Did you break it? We could do the FU.
Yeah, let's see. 258. So
yeah, there you go, buddy.
Dude, my personal goal. So now with my friends that I still have some, friends that we.
Now you can call it a career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got
drinking tears. They're tears.
I got some friends in the mainstream, and some of you guys, if you know my history of where I've worked and who I work with, you guys probably got a good idea who some of these friends are. They talk crap to me about me being over, but we're still pretty good friends. So now they can't say crap, like, oh yeah, your book had more backers before CG. Now it's like,
no, dude, we got to take a snapshot of this and put it in the Goodwill Hunting where he slams the paper up against the glass and says, "How about them apples?"
Yeah, yeah. How about them apples? Yeah. This way,
dude. Congrats, man.
Yeah, I'm just happy because I was like, dude, I have to, because you don't know what your book's gonna do,
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, when I'm here, I'm in Comicsgate, I just want to make one over what I did before.
Yeah.
Just one,
Yeah, you proved it, man.
Yeah, dude, this is awesome. I mean, and the crazy thing was, I just like I'm like, hey, Comicsgate, this is what I did before Comicsgate. I know we could do better. And Comicsgate, just like they support you, man. They're good, loyal, man. That's the one thing,
Hell yeah.
That's
loyal
awesome.
backers,
Yeah.
Man, we're
Yeah.
200 away from getting the bookmark.
We were so close now to that stretch goal. Like, oh man, that first stretch goal is 16,000, and we could do a bookmark where I just throw it in. Everybody gets a free bookmark.
Hell yeah.
And I thought, I was like, dude, I want to come up with something for people for a stretch goal. And I asked, around a couple people, everybody wanted a bookmark or a trading card. And I was like, well, a bookmark everybody's doing trading cards. I was like, how about a book? The bookmark sounds better. I was telling my wife, Anna, and I don't know if you guys know my streams, Annabelle, she goes by Anna Havana, and I go, I was telling her, I said, what, for my first stretch goal, everybody's asking for bookmarks. She's like, bookmarks? Who uses a bookmark?
People who read, Anna.
Yeah, I'm like,
that's Snuggie Jr.
That's like a Carl moment. Of course, Carl.
Yeah, I'm like, those of us who have to pause in our reading time, we have jobs. We got shit to do,
Oh my god, that's like SpongeBob. It's like, when I need someone with a job done, I get someone with a job to do that job.
Oh my god! But the other day, my wife is 29, and the other day, I say her age because it comes into you need to know this. So I hear her laughing and giggling. I'm in my studio. We have a little home theater, with a big TV.
Wow,
in the home
fancy.
theater.
Rub it in.
I know. So she's in there laughing her butt off. Right. I get up to go see. I'm like, what is it? What are you laughing at? Because I love stand-up comedy. So I get up and I go down the hall and I go down to the theater room. I look inside. She's watching SpongeBob.
Yes.
29 years old watching SpongeBob, laughing like she was watching freaking Chris Rock on Netflix. I was like,
do you not? You got to sit down and watch like the first 3 seasons of SpongeBob are hilarious. Me and Rookie Critic are always like, I got a little bit of time, or we watch a movie and it's like, well, we got more time to watch something. Let's watch SpongeBob together. And so we'll put on SpongeBob, and it's so, the older you get, the funnier SpongeBob is. Like, it's already funny for kids.
Yeah.
But the humor of those first 3 seasons it's like Shrek. It's so all encompassing. Like, one of them we watched recently is Rock Bottom. So SpongeBob lives in like the normal area of the ocean. You think of aquatic life. Well, they go to Glove World,
like a suburb area of the ocean, or
yeah, I guess, yeah. And so they go to Glove World. They take the bus leaving Glove World, which is like Six Flags, and they get on the wrong bus. They go down to the bottom level of the ocean. It's all dark, and everyone's like bioluminescent and shit. And it's totally different culture. They talk different, and it's funny because like there's this whole running gag of SpongeBob can never catch the bus because with his big glove balloon, he kept hitting the bus driver trying to get money out of his pocket.
Oh yeah.
And so the bus driver keeps like saying, screw that guy, not picking him up. And so every little gag he tries putting like a billboard of himself up to then jump on the bus. And yeah, he tries all this stuff. It's a funny gag. And then like he goes to the bus station to figure out a bus and get a ticket or something. And then at the end, he's like, yeah, I need a bus. And he's like, what? And he keeps asking, he's like, I can't understand you. And so then he starts like screaming, saying after every word. And he's like, oh, why didn't you say so? Next bus leaves in 5 seconds. And he's like, darn it. That's the last one. Too bad.
Is that like they're censoring a curse word? While he's doing
no, there's an episode all about curse words. They find curse words. It's like a dolphin effect. And so then like they learn it and they think it's a sentence enhancer. So then Patrick comes to work and he's like, hey, SpongeBob, how the fuck are you? He's like, nice fucking day we're having.
I'm going to start saying that. I'm going to be like, cursing. I'm going to be like, why are you cursing so much? I'm like, it's a fucking sentence enhancer. But
no, the rock bottom one is just like, that's their dialect is, after every few words.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've kind of seen SpongeBob because my son, the same age as my wife, grew up watching it, so I kind of seen some of it. I remember him watching it, but I never sat and watched it. And she's trying to get me to watch it, so I guess I'll sit and watch it with her.
There's one that's like actually would be good for like philosophy 101 about religion, where SpongeBob and Patrick are like relying on the magic conch. So it's like a pull string conch. It's kind of like an 8-ball. And so they get stranded and they're like, well, you gotta ask the magic conch what to do. And it's like, all right, we just gotta sit here. And Squidward's like, screw this, I'm gonna find a way out. And he keeps like going in circles. And so then like a plane drops its payload full of like food and shit. And so that, oh hell, the magic conch. And then Squidward's still not believing it. Then he's like, I want some food. He's like, you gotta ask the magic conch. Then he does, and it's like, no, you can't. It's like, damn it. And then someone finds them. He's like, you have the magic conch too. And they all just sit there, and Squidward's like, damn it. You know, it's like there's some movie like that where I think it's like Aborigines, they find like a Coke can because it fell from a plane. They think it's God or something.
Yeah. That one. Man, I remember that movie. Part 2 was the best one. Yeah, that's where they find the Coke can. God, what was that movie? God, My God, or Oh God, no.
The gods must be crazy.
Gods must be crazy, dude. Part 2 is awesome. Part 1 wasn't as funny, but part 2 got funnier. I loved it. It was like an Australian Mel Brooks film or something.
Well, yeah, it was Bushman from Africa, and like everything was in super fast motion, like high speed film. It was really weird to watch. Like if you slow it down to 24 frames per second, it feels like a completely different movie.
Wow. Yeah. And he's his son too, right? His son gets separated. He's like Finding Nemo. He's like trying to get back with the son.
Yeah.
He got stuck on the back of a truck or something. God, I haven't seen that in a long time. Those are great films, man.
Oh hell yeah.
You know, and I'm surprised. Well, I was gonna say I'm surprised you guys have seen that film, but so did my wife, and you guys are all probably about the same age, and she saw that movie and she was telling me, you know, a movie I haven't seen in a while, and she surprises me. You know, I go, oh, have you seen all these movies? Like these are great movies from like before you were born. Like how do you know this stuff?
This is it. Okay.
Hey, a while.
There's a real story like this. Let me pull it up. John Frum. All right, let me share this really quick. This might be informative for you. So John Frum is a mythic figure associated with cargo cults on the island of Tana in Vanuatu. He is often depicted as an American World War II serviceman who bring wealth and prosperity to the people if they follow him. Quoting David Attenborough's report of an encounter, "E look like you. E got white face. E tall man. E live long South America." In the 1990s, there was still reportedly over 5,000 members of the Drawn From movement, but as of 2022, there are fewer than 500. Now only the village of Lamacara remains true to the John Frum cause on the island of Tana. The rest of the island is mostly converted by Christian missionaries. The religion centering on John Frum arose in the late 30s when Vanuatu was known as the New Hebrides. Although there was a claim in 1949 that it started in 1910s, the movement was influenced by existing religious practice in the Sulphur Bay area, particularly worship of a god from a mountain. In one analysis of the cult, the figure was first known as John Broom, who is believed by followers to one day return from a distant land to sweep away the white colonials and return riches to the islands. In some versions of the story, native men using the alias John Frum began appearing among the native people dressed in a Western-style coat, showing the people he would bring them houses, clothes, food, and transports. In 1941, followers of John Frum rid themselves of their money in a frenzy of spending, left the missionary churches, schools, villages, and plantations, and moved inland to participate in traditional feasts, dances, and rituals. Most followers had come from the Presbyterian Church. European colonial authorities sought to suppress the movement at one point, arresting a Tenise man calling himself John Frum, humiliating him publicly and imprisoning and ultimately exiling him along with other leaders of the cult, to another island in the archipelago. Yeah, so just like that SpongeBob meme, you have sort of a religion based on accident of just industrialized people.
Can you imagine, like, if you were to go to like one of these tribes that have no access to modern, you know, technology or anything, they're just disconnected from the world, and you were to go there with like a lighter, you know what I mean, and they would just think you're a god. It just, you could call them flame and fire, you know what I mean? That would be
Yeah,
my
it was-
dream.
Yeah.
Worship like a god and just be there.
Yeah, I was underwhelmed with Black Knight with that element where he's like, ha, fire. And it's like, we have fire. And it's like, yeah, but he's just sparking it out of his hand. Like, that should wow you. Like, he's
Yeah,
a wizard or a witch, you know, that should
Yeah.
make them scared.
Well, that was like a full-time job back in the day. Was like you'd actually have fire bearers who would bring it from one village to another because it was a big deal to even create fire. So once you created it, you had to keep it going.
Yeah, that's that. I mean, well, didn't they already have like any contact with? No, they probably didn't have contact with like China. Didn't China already have like the type of powder and stuff to keep it going, or would they have to dip it in some kind of oil? Well oil, wasn't it? Well oil they were using to keep it burning.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like gunpowder came long after the discovery of you know, fire and all that stuff. But like, yeah, black powder, that's just basically saltpeter, was it sulfur and something else? Charcoal, I think, or yeah, and yeah, I mean, I as far as like just primitives or you know, what do they call it now? What's the PC term for primitive cultures? Is it like indigenous or
Indigenous.
like, yeah, which is funny because
First
Europeans
Nations people.
yeah, yeah, there we go. Pre nations or what, but like yeah, fire is, you know how they say the water is the element of life. Well, fire is the element of survival. It's why we're at the top of the food chain. Like we cooked our food. That's what made our brain smart.
Yeah, it kept all the bacteria, you know, from eating our brain, you know.
Yeah, the Neanderthals apparently didn't cook their food, and a lot of them suffered from gastrointestinal problems.
Yeah, you know that here's a random fact here, but you know crocodiles have the highest immune system. Like they can actually, their immune system is so high that if they were to catch AIDS, their immune system could beat it.
Damn, crocodile AIDS! I'm seeing a comic here.
Yeah, I saw it on a documentary, and I was watching the documentary. I'm like, did he just say the crocodile got AIDS? Who fucked the crocodile? What? Why did the crocodile have AIDS? They're like, yeah, he overpowered it. He's good. His immune system is great. I'm like,
guy banged a pangolin, and the pangolin came after the crocodile.
Yeah.
Well, the thing with AIDS, as far as I know, is like most animals have their variant of AIDS.
Well, cats can get AIDS.
Wait, say it again, what?
No, I think I was watching Family Guy, and they had that joke about the guy that flew in, the supposed patient zero with AIDS from Africa.
Oh yeah,
white guy,
flight attendant.
Right, and there's this idea that they got it from monkeys like sleeping with them. It's actually from the Africans eating bushmeat, because this is a further proof of evolution is real, and that we're related to common ancestor with primates and monkeys, because like sheep, horses, all these animals have their own strand of AIDS. But when you eat a horse or sheep or anything, you don't get AIDS, even if you ate it raw, because it's like we're too distantly related. But the simian-based AIDS is just like swine flu. Why, you know, if we're not related, how do we get flu from pigs or from birds? You know, it's because there's either a similar food source or there's a similar biology. You know,
gain of function.
Yeah, exactly. And so
it's just a few DNA strands away from monkeys. Like it's not that far of a gap.
Yeah, but then we're also, I think, really related to like mushrooms. I think I want to say it's mushrooms. It's a very odd thing where it's like we're actually really closely related to that versus some animal you'd think would be closer to us.
So
strange.
Developed,
It's like the orcs in Warhammer. The greenskins, oi, 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 we're mushrooms.
Hey, what's up, wizard? You're back. She said her phone died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Dragonrage, we're about 200 away from getting the first perk, which is the bookmarks. So share this out. Share the link is in the description for his book and his Twitter. So be sure to follow him and back this book if you can't right now. You're gonna like re-up it for another 30 days, right?
Yeah. This is the last 31 hours of the first 30 days, and then I'll go another 30 days with it. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, if you're
Are you going to maintain it in demand?
I want to. People have recommended. I was only going to do 30 days because my first campaign before I was Comicsgate, I only ran it for 30 days, no in demand, because I wanted to make sure I fulfilled it, got it all out there, and we did that one. This one I was going to do the same thing, but then everyone at in Comicsgate with the big campaign said, no, you should do another 30, do 60 days, and go in demand. So
Yep.
I think I'm gonna end up doing that.
Nice.
But that means, I have to make a certain amount so that I can print over whatever amount of backers I get to keep a handful. So when you go on demand, I can just fulfill.
Well, better been a typo wizard.
Oh. Yeah. I like it. I like the typo. It was hilarious.
No, I'm totally fine with the jokes. If that was intentional, I'm totally fine with. Like, I think someone made like Black Anus for like a meme channel of me. Like, I'm totally fine with it. I encourage it.
Nice.
Yeah, I've learned to roll with them. Because like being in Comicsgate, I didn't really know what people were doing. I didn't know if they were joking with me and stuff. And when I first got here, and so I'm learning to roll with it now. Now I'm like, oh yeah, you just can't take this stuff seriously. You gotta have fun,
Yeah, like I hate it when like you have to walk on eggshells because you're afraid that you're gonna piss somebody off just saying like how they construe something you say, and it's like, dude, chill the frick out.
Well, that's what happens when we get unplugged from the Matrix. Like those of us that come from mainstream into Comicsgate, we're still in that mentality of we're afraid. You gotta be polite. You gotta
so stressful, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of polite, what do you think of this? It says, show her it's a man's world.
I see the more things change, the more they stay the same.
If you don't know, that is the famous TikTok trans. She's the Dylan Mulvaney, I think.
Yep.
365 Days of Girlhood.
She was so big. I was like, she's really tall. I didn't get the.
Drew Barrymore is basically being the subservient wife to Dylan Mulvaney there.
Oh
It's
my
hilarious.
God, yeah. They SJWs. I always tell them, like if you come on my channel, watch my channel, you're gonna hate it because I do all the driving. In fact, I gotta leave to go get my wife, but she doesn't drive. I do all the driving. She does all the cooking. Like it's just what do you call that? Like things that we've both decided, like, hey, these are roles we want to play in the marriage, and we role play in the marriage. I play Uber driver. I play Uber driver. She plays the customer who can't pay for her Uber driver.
Oh no! I've seen how this movie starts.
And then she cooks everything. She does all the cooking, and you'll see her during streams when I live stream. She'll bring me like full on meals.
Nice.
And it's just
it's a keeper.
Yeah, it's a keeper. Yeah, I'm not just saying.
It's a man's world.
It was amazing. I got lucky, especially
Yeah. Best tag team partner ever.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I have to run and go pick her up, but I thank you so much, guys, for having me on. You guys, honestly, any stream that I can get on, it's an honor to me to be on here with you guys.
Hell yeah,
I
man.
really do appreciate it.
It's an honor having you on, man.
Yeah.
And plus, you guys are hilarious, man. How have we not hung out before?
Yeah.
You gotta have you guys on my stream too. You guys gotta come over to my channel.
Oh hell yeah, dude!
Thanks for the invite. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you guys love it. You guys love it. I do a live stream every Tuesday called Topicless. So we rotate channels. So tonight it's gonna be on someone else's channel, and then after that it'll be my channel. So
who's the other person? Or
tonight is Death Metal Hero.
Yeah.
Luke, Death Metal Hero.
I don't know if I know that. Oh yeah, I think I followed Luke Studios.
He's got blue hair. He's got a blue mohawk. He looks like one of my characters right here, the one with the.
He's got the deepest voice.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Sorry, you said Death Metal Hero.
Death Metal Hero. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
on Red Valkyrie and or at least that's where I've seen him originally.
And I believe in 1 hour from now we'll be on that one. and then next Tuesday it'll be on my channel, and then I can bring you guys in if you guys want to come hang out with us. And
Hell yeah,
you
man.
guys will really enjoy it. And it's a lot of fun. Plus, you can plug your books or anything, or your channels or whatever.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome,
I
man.
appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only problem for me with stream, usually why I asked you about 9 is because I have a job. It's strange. It's 2 on, 2 off, 12-hour shifts. So I was telling Chris about how like some days when I come and stream, it's like I'm actually really fucking tired.
Yeah.
But I push through.
What?
Some day, the way it lines up, some days it's like, well, I do the stream, staying up late, and then I gotta go to work the next morning too, and I got like 40 minutes drive to work. So yeah, I do this for love. It's not just like, hey, watch me.
I like how you started the description of your job. You said, I have a job, it's 2 on, 2 off. Like, oh, I seen that movie too.
Like Face
Sorry,
Off.
I'm not following.
You said 2 on, 2 off, like it's a it's a sexual joke. 2 on. You're a gigolo, man.
DVDA.
Yeah. You're the gigolo. You get 2 at a time, 2 on. You never seen that?
It was totally going over my head. Sorry.
It's a different genre. He's like, I don't go to that. That's not my fetish.
Great. Now I'm exposed as the deviant pervert. Damn it.
Yeah.
Well, it's great. It's great being with that. It's funny because it's great being bi because it's like, hey, the whole catalog is open to me.
Yeah, you got the double the playing field.
Yeah, for me, it's just like, trans men, gross. That's a downgrade. Can't do that shit.
And you're immune because you'd be like, dude, I'm part of the Rainbow Right too. What are you gonna do about it?
Right. Well, it doesn't matter. Whatever demographic, you're always end up being a coon if you're not with the narrative.
Yeah, dude, I get that too. Being Jewish and being Korean, like,
oh wow,
yeah, like
Scotch Korean.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a bad Skittles commercial, but no, I had somebody like spurging out on me for like 4 days straight because I said that that new Seth Rogen Ninja Turtles redesign of April O'Neil was disgusting. It looked like a potato with a face, like And I said something like, I'm like, what a downgrade. We go from freaking April O'Neil in the original design to, and I showed the picture to this Oompa Loompa. And they're like, oh, you're racist and blah, blah, blah. You're a Nazi. I'm like, really? I'm a Nazi? Okay.
Right. Well, it's you guys are like me. Like I'm Spanish, half Spanish and part German. And I'm like, how the hell did y'all get together? Like, I mean, you know what I mean? But
this is essentially
yeah, that's a Facebook profile picture.
I should totally use that. L'chaim.
Just replace his taxi hat with the yarmulke.
Yeah. My little kip on there. Yeah. So Spanish and German.
And go get my father's is half Spanish, half German. My mother's indigenous. She's Native American.
Oh,
so yeah. So people look at me and they go, "You're Mexican." I'm like, I don't even have Mexican family.
That was my assumption because I was assuming that because your presentation and your name. That's why I was.
Yeah, Kings. Yeah. Kings, baby.
But I got it. Yeah, it's from the Spanish. I got it from the European Spanish.
I'm half black, half white. I got a smidge of like Indian. I'm registered Cherokee, but I look Mexican to everybody, especially when I grow my stash full and it rounds out. And it's like, I look Mexican.
Hey, we're like, CG's white supremacists, though. This can't happen.
Right.
This whole panel is just a bunch of sock puppets.
But yeah, no, I appreciate you coming on. I'm anything closing you want to say before you go out?
No, thank you so much. I mean, you guys, I really appreciate your time. Yeah.
Oh yeah, man.
Definitely. And thanks for all the backers, everybody out there backing. If you guys catch this later, appreciate you guys backing. Every single backer means a lot. So if you guys tag me on Twitter, I'll give you guys shout outs or shout outs on my live streams. Really appreciate everybody.
Awesome, man. Sweet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody go back. Dragonrage link in the description. His Twitter as well is in the description and his YouTube. So watch his streams, get updates, and see what makes Reyes tick.
Awesome. Thanks.
Sweet.
All right. Talk to you all later. See you next week.
Right.
Hopefully we should be hosting is it the Mythicals? Is that the name of that book, Chris?
Oh yeah, Hojo's book.
Yeah, we'll be having that guy, possibly another one. I want to make a video for a coin toss ceremony for the decision making. We'll do who goes first. But see y'all next week. Well, actually, I'll see y'all Thursday, me and Ricky, for the All American Beef stream, and talk to y'all later.